Namaste students, welcome to business studies class. Now today we'll discuss one chapter regarding business studies. So far you already completed almost all the chapters in business studies. I am discussing about the second part in business studies where we deal with the corporate companies. Here also only one chapter is remaining, that is formation of company, and some other chapters are not included. It is deducted from your syllabus as per this particular year, and some other chapters are in case of first part you already completed almost all the chapters. So we'll discuss about formation of a company today. So what do you mean by formation of a company? What do you mean by formation? Formation means creating something. So here what we are trying to create. So formation of a company means we discuss about the starting up of a new company. What are the procedures or what are the formalities are there in order to start up a new company? You know that in the present world there is a increasing competition. There is a large scale of competitions are there in the market, and we require huge amount of money also. And also technology is changing every now and then. So it is very difficult to start up a large scale business. So it is better to, in this present world, it is better to think of medium scale and small scale of business. But whatever may be the scale of business, the procedures, whether it is large scale or medium scale or small scale, the procedure of formation of company will remain same. We need to complete all the formalities. So when we think of formation of a company, so we know that there are lots of procedure. It starts from thinking of an idea of starting up of a business. Initially an idea it may stuck into our mind that we need to start so and so business. From then actually when we start up that particular business, when we convert that idea into a one particular shape, or when we give some practical shape to that particular idea, so in between that there are lots of procedures and formalities, and these formalities and procedures, these are not general formalities or procedure, these are legal formalities and procedures. So we need to go through lots of legal formalities and procedures in order to format a particular company. So what that legal formalities and procedures? So in this particular chapter we are studying about what are the formalities or procedures of starting up of a new business, and we divide that formalities and procedures into 3 stages. So in these 3 stages we study in this chapters how to form a new company. So those 3 stages are: the first stage of promotion, then second one incorporation, and third one subscription. What are these? Promotion, incorporation or subscription. These are the 3 stages. We need to go through these 3 stages where we divide the formalities and procedures of starting up of a new company into 3 different stages. So these are 3 stages where we need to go through these stages in order to starting up of a company. So firstly there is a promotion. Promotion means there comes we are studying in detail. Next we are going to study in detail what are the things will come under promotion. We think of an idea, generating an idea, or what we need to do in order to being a promoter, means who takes the initiative of starting up of a company, what he does, what kind of activities he does, that we study in case of promotion. Then comes the incorporation. What is that incorporation? See, whatever may be the ideas or thoughts into our mind, or whatever may be the activities we do, or what effort we put in order to start up a business, but legally when we can call it's a particular company, in order to call that this particular company as a, yes, it's a one legal company, it can start a business. So we need the incorporation or incorporation certificate we require. For example, when baby is born, what do? We get the certificate, the birth certificate of that particular baby. We go to a particular office and we give name, their parents' name, and that baby is what required, what certificate is required, or what else, what information required to make that certificate, that we provide, and we get one certificate, that is a birth certificate of that particular baby. Means it's a proof that this baby is existing. So based on that birth birth certificate, in future or in further for that particular baby we prepare lots of other documents. So in the same way, in case of company also, there we need to get initially a certificate that we call it as incorporation certificate. It is also called as a birth certificate of the company. It's a proof, a legal proof for that particular company. Yes, this so and so company is existing. It's a legally existing in this particular place. So if we get that particular certificate, that incorporation certificate, then we can commence the business, means we can conduct our activities in that particular company. So that we study in case of incorporation and subscription. See, initially we thought of or thinking of some ideas, what we can do in the sense we plan properly. So that comes under promotion stage. And incorporation means we are getting a legal certificate. We are getting a legal certificate in order to start up a business. So that it is not, if we do not get this incorporation certificate, without getting incorporation certificate, if we start a business, then it will be an illegal business. So second stage, we get one proper certificate which is required to run that particular business. Then comes this subscription. Subscription means in order to start a business, we know that we require lot of money then. So lot of money in business sense we call it as capital. So what we can do for capital or generating capital or to collect capital, what we can do? What are the different methods of collecting capital? Whether we can go with the issue of shares. If we are going with issue of shares, what is the number of shares and what amount we can issue, and what are the procedures to issue the shares. So this we study in case of subscription. So these are the three stages. Under these three stages, we divided the formalities and procedures of starting up of a business. So mainly there are three stages where we divide the formalities and procedures of starting up of a business into three stages. Those are promotion, incorporation and subscription. Now nextly we are going one by one. What are these procedures? What are these stages? Under these stages, what and all information or what we are going to study. So firstly we have the promotion. So now today's class will discuss about promotion, what we can do under that particular stage and what we do in that particular stage. So when we speak about promotion, first question comes to our mind, who is a promoter? In case of promotion means we are lifting up of something. Here we are lifting up of something means we are lifting some particular idea. What we thought, that idea we are lifting up. So there should be a person called promoter. So who is that promoter? See, it's a one more question. Who is a promoter? Promoter may be an individual person. He may be an individual person. Or a group of persons. Sometimes a group of persons, or a company. See, promoter can be an individual person or a group of person or a company who takes the initiativeness of starting up of a business. For that person we call it as a promoter. Promoter may be an individual person or a group of person or a company who takes the initiative or who takes the responsibility of starting up of a business. That person we call it as a promoter. For example, individual person, when we speak about individual person, he thought of starting up of a business. We can take the example of, we can take Dhirubhai Ambani also, we can take. He is an individual person and he started up a particular business. So then we can call it as an individual. Their promoter is individual. Then sometimes there will be a group of persons, 4 to 5 members. They came together and some ideas or thoughts were there in their mind. For example, we can take Infosys. There were 4 to 5, 4 members were there. It was initially their idea starting up of that particular company. So sometimes promoter may be a group of persons, or some other time it may be a company. They are having one company. That company is thinking of starting up of some other company. one company is existing already one particular company is existing, and that company is starting or it is thinking of starting up of some other new ventures or new ideas, one more company. So we can take, it is not necessarily that promoter should be a one single individual person. In some case it may be a single individual person, and sometimes it may be a group of person, or sometimes it may be a company, sometimes it may be an existing company. So these we call it as a promoter. So promoter is a individual person or a group of persons or a company who takes the initiativeness or who takes the responsibility of starting up of new company. Then we said to be those people are the promoters of the company. So when we speak about promoters, now we saw what is that promoter, who can be a promoter. We thought that it may be an individual person and it may be a group of person or a company. Now when he thought of starting up of a new company, he has to perform several kind of activities, or he has to perform some of the functions. So what are those functions he has to perform in order to starting up of a company? So nextly we will see what are the functions performed by the promoters. Nextly, the functions of a promoter, one by one will look at. So functions of a promoter or activities of a promoter. Functions of a promoter or activities of a promoter. So when we speak about functions, he has to perform a variety of functions in order to starting up of a company. So here initially we saw there are variety of legal procedures and formalities in order to start up a business. So that legal procedures and formalities we divide it under the three categories, that is promotion, incorporation and subscription. So there we have taken the first one, that is promotion. What do we do under that particular stage? So there will be a person called promoter. He may be an individual person or a group of person or a company who takes the initiativeness or a responsibility of starting up of a new company. Then it is said to be a promoter. Then he is said to be a promoter. Then what are those functions he perform in order to start up a business, or what are the activities he perform in order to start up the business? So first comes their identification of business opportunities. What are those functions? When he thought of starting up of a company, now he should be having some ideas in his mind, or he should find it in which field or in a present market, for which kind of business there is an opportunity, or which kind of business, if I start this, which kind of business I can get a more profit, which is a more profitable section, or which is a more profitable area in the present market, in this present in this present world, in this present market, what is the most profitable area. After finding that, he should think of what kind of company he can start, or what kind of business he can start, whether it is a product oriented business, or whether it is a service oriented business. So you need to think, what is a product oriented business? Product oriented business means he thinks of producing some physical product where we can touch and see. That it may be the chalk. It may be a chalk. It's a physical. It's a product. We can see. It's a product. I can start up of a chalk, producing chalks, or I can start up of producing calculators or pen or duster. These are the product oriented companies. Then service oriented companies. What are the service oriented companies? Now for example, the hospitals are service oriented, or travel agencies, these are service oriented. Then banking sector, these are service oriented. So what kind of business I can start, whether I should think of a physical product, producing a physical product, or whether I need to think of rendering some services to customers. So which is a more profitable way, where I can get more profit, where now at present there are more opportunities are there to earn more profit. So identifying business opportunities means he should identify where he has greater opportunities, in which area he has greater opportunities, where he can get more profit, where he can run his business most efficiently and effectively. So he has to identify there which is the most profitable area and with what other opportunities he has in this present market. So that comes identification of business opportunity. Then he thinks of what kind of business he can start up, whether it is a product oriented company or whether it is a service oriented company. Product oriented means which aims at producing any of the product, physical product. Service means where he can render service, where he can start up the business of rendering service. So he need to think in this particular stage. That is the first stage, identifying of business opportunity, where he thinks of what kind of business he can start. Then after thinking that, for example, we'll take one example. He is going with the product oriented company. He is thinking of producing a calculator. He is thinking of producing a calculator with some new technology. Where that calculator it says about time and other calculations and temperature, everything. So he thought of starting up of one business that is product oriented. The product is calculator. So he is going with the product oriented idea. Now next stage, that is feasibility studies. Feasibility studies. What is that feasibility studies? Feasibility studies means studying in detail. So he need to study in detail variety of factors when he thought of starting up of a particular business, that is a calculator, producing of calculator. So under feasibility study, he is going to study three kinds of factors, that is first one, technological feasibility. Technological feasibility. Then financial feasibility. Then comes the last one, economic feasibility. Economic feasibility. So what are they? Feasibility study is nothing but studying in detail. He has to study a variety of factors in detail. So what are those factors? Firstly, he has to study about technical feasibility. What is that technical feasibility? Whether what the product he thought. For example, product he thought that is a calculator. So for that, in order to produce that particular item, whether available technology is supporting. In my country, what kind of technology, advanced technology are available, whether this technology is supporting in order to produce my particular product. So that he has to study. For example, for his particular product, he has to import some items from some other country. For example, we take it Pakistan. We need to import some items from some other country, where with that particular country we are not having a legal or politically we are not having good relationship with that particular country. Our country is not having politically, it doesn't have good relationship with that particular country from where we want to import something. So now we can think that it is technologically, it is not possible to import anything from that particular country which I require in order to produce my product. What I thought, in order to produce this particular product, I required so and so articles from that country. But with that country, my country is not, it is not politically having good relationship. So it is not possible for me to get that particular item in order to produce this particular product. So what happens then? So technically he is not finding any feasibility over there. So technically he is not finding any feasibility because what is required for his product, in order to produce his product, it is not possible. In this country, it is not possible to import that particular item. So he finds that it is not technically feasible to having this product. So now what he can do? He can think of some alternative articles in order to produce that particular product. He can think of any alternative other countries he can think. Can I import from some other country? Whether it is possible. So that we call it as technical feasibility. Whether what technology is available, whether this technology is supporting my product in order to produce my product, whether it is supporting or not. As I said, this kind of problem may arise, so that he has to study whether it is technically feasible or not. Then comes financial feasibility. Financial feasibility is nothing but in order to produce this particular item, what amount of money or what amount of fund I require. So I require so and so fund. Whether it is possible for me to arrange with having limited time period, whether it is possible me to arrange this amount of fund. Can I get loan from the bank? What are the procedure? Whether it is possible for me to arrange the fund. That is financial feasibility. There he studies about the financial aspect, that is arrangement of funds. Whether it is possible for me to arrange the fund required to produce this particular item. Then economic feasible. Now we know that all the ideas what we think in our mind, it is not easy to convert into a profitable one. It is not easy to convert into a profitable one. Now he has to think there while studying economic feasibility, having this so and so technology and so fund, whether it is possible to convert my idea into profitable one. If yes, then he can go with that idea. If not, he has to find some other alternative ideas there. So here second stage is feasibility study. That is nothing but in that particular stage he studies all other factors which are required to run which is required to start up his business, what he thought. Whether it is technical feasibility means whether technological advancement, whether it is supporting, he can arrange them. Or here whether he can arrange the finance or fund, whether it is profitable one or not. Now next one, third activity or function comes as name approval. What is that name approval? Now what he should do? Now he passed with his ideas. He has one idea and he conducted the feasibility studies. Okay, he thinks yes, I can move forward having these ideas after that study so and so factors. Now name approval. Now he has to fix some name for his company. Now what he has to do? He has to select their three names. And he should apply for the name to registrar of companies. To where he has to apply registrar of companies. What is that registrar of companies? Now it is an office. Registrar of companies is an office. It is run by the government. Also which is that commerce and which is responsible for industry and commerce. The government or the government department which ministry, it comes under the industry and commerce. So there is an office called registrar of companies in each state. Each state will be having registrar of companies. At present in India there are 22 registrar of companies are there. In Karnataka it is situated in Bangalore. So this register of companies, it looks into that particular state's administrative procedures and formalities of companies, all the companies in that particular state. So we have register of companies in different states. So that particular state's register of companies, its work is to look into the administrative aspects of the companies which will be there in that particular state. So if we are starting a business here means all that legal procedures and formalities, it has to get approved by this particular office. They will look into that all the procedures and formalities. Then it move to the central offices where it is responsible for commerce and industry. So they set up this particular office. It is set up by the commerce and industry department. So this office, it looks into the all legal procedures of administrative procedures of all the companies of that particular state. So at present we have 22 register of companies. So what promoter has to do? He has to select 3 names and he has to see why we need to send three names. What happens? Sometimes with that name some other company will be existing, or sometimes with that name it will be related to something. So they will reject the names. So for safer side, we need to select their three names, and we need to send to register of company. Sometimes that those three names also will get rejected, and once again we need to send three more names. Sometimes any one name will be selected out of those three. They will give permission to have one particular name. So after getting permission from register of companies to fix a particular name for the company out of those three, if we get permission, then we can select one name for our particular company. If they reject their further three more names, we need to send. In that anyone they will give permission. So in this stage we need to select three names and we need to send it to register of companies for getting approval. If we get approval for any one of the name, that name will be selected as that particular company's name. Then fourth step comes there. Setting up signatories to the memorandum of association. Next, see, there is a document called memorandum of association. In case of company, there is a document called memorandum of association. That document we will study further. We are studying about memorandum of association. In shortly, it states about the object of the company, what company has to do. So that is particular. It is very important document in case of company, that is memorandum of association. Now, after getting a particular name for the company, now promoter has to think. Now there is a procedure called, we need to sign the memorandum of association. Now promoter has to think how many members has to sign the memorandum of association. What happens? Those who sign memorandum of association, those who signs the memorandum of association, they become the first director of the company. They become the first director of the company. What happens if they become a director of the company? Means they are part of that particular company and they are responsible for that particular company. So now promoter has to think who and all how many members has to sign the memorandum of association, and one who signs the memorandum of association, they become the first director of that particular company, and they can take part in the activities of that company. Now in this stage he decides how many members has to sign the memorandum of association. So memorandum of association is an important document in case of company. So what will be there in memorandum association? Other than that, it is not allowed to do anything in that particular company. So this is very important document. This we'll see in the later. So in this stage promoter has to think who are those members who has to sign the memorandum of association, and who will sign memorandum of association, they become the first director of that company. If they become director of that company, then they can take part in the activities of that particular company. Then next comes there, after setting up of signature to the memorandum of association, next comes their appointment of professionals. Appointment of professionals. Who are those professionals we require in case of companies? Professionals are like chartered accountants, bankers, auditors, So these are the lawyer for the legal advice. So these are the professionals we require in case of company. So next step, after signing the memorandum of association, we get some of the directors for the company. One who signs, they become the director. Then we need to think of who are those professionals whom we need to appoint for this particular company, like chartered accountants, bankers and lawyers. These are the professionals we require inside the company for render some of the services. So nextly we need to appoint, the promoter has to appoint the professionals for that company. Then there comes last step, preparation of necessary documents. Preparation of necessary documents. What are the documents order to submit for the register of companies. So next step it is preparation of necessary documents. So here we prepare this memorandum of association, articles of association. So many documents are there. Those documents we prepare under preparation of necessary documents. So in order to prepare this document, we require these professionals. So these are the activities and or functions of promoters. So who is promoter? Promoter is an individual. He may be an individual person or group of person or a company who takes the initiativeness of starting up of new company. So here we divided the formation of a company under 3 stages, that is promotion, incorporation, then subscription. So the first function of promoter is identifying business opportunities. Where I have opportunity that he has to identify, then he need to conduct variety of studies, that is feasibility studies, technical feasibility, financial feasibility and economic feasibility. Technological feasibility means whether what available technology, whether it is feasible or whether it is supporting or what. Financial means can I arrange a required fund. Economic feasibility means whether my idea is profitable or not. Then next one, name approval. They have to select 3 names and send it to the register of company. Register of company is the office. It is run by the state affairs, run by the central government there, which is the responsible for industry and commerce. So it is run by them. So they are responsible for that particular state administrative department of all the companies. Whether in that particular state what and all administrative procedures are there related to companies, that has to move through this register of companies. Though they have to select, promoter has to select 3 names and he has to send it to register of companies to get approval. So out of those 3 names, he can get approval for any one of the names. Sometimes those 3 names also will get rejected because with that name some other companies will be existing, or it will be related to something. So once again he has to select 3 more names. So initially he has to select 3 names and he should get approval from register of companies. Then setting up of signatories to the memorandum of association. There is an important document in case of company, that is memorandum of association. Next, the promoter, he has to think how many members has to sign the memorandum of association. So then he decides, and after deciding, once if they sign, they become the directors of the company. Those who will sign the memorandum, they become the directors of the company, and then they are responsible or they can take part in the activities of that particular company. Then he need to appoint some of the professionals like chartered accountants, bankers or lawyers, and with their help, next